Our speaker this evening is the chairman of Valley Christian High School's board, Valley Christian Schools now board. He is a native of Hawaii. He's been a longtime supporter of Valley Christian Schools. Mike has been very instrumental in leading the schools through those transitions the last couple of years. He is a visionary thinker and thinks big for Valley Christian High School. Mike met his wife, Tracy, at the University of Hawaii, where he played quarterback for their football team, and Tracy ran cross country for the Rainbow Warriors. They moved to Arizona 21 years ago to expand their business. Mike has always been an entrepreneur and has built and sold several businesses throughout his time in Arizona. Today, he's the founder and president of the Edison Company, which is an energy-efficient company that specializes in helping commercial facilities reduce their energy costs. Mike and Tracy have two children. Their son, Sky, graduated from Valley in 2016 and is now married to an alumnus, Chloe, who graduated in 2015. And their daughter, Paige, is graduating tonight. So please help me in welcoming Mike Rodriguez.
Thanks, Dan. Very nice. Appreciate that. How about a big hand for Mr. Dan Kuiper? Are you guys ready to have some fun? Me too. It's such a special night. I'm in a good mood, so let's go. The Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians to run the race as if to win. So I want to tell you a story. It's a true story about a race I ran in the 8th grade. It's not a perfect metaphor for life, but I think you'll enjoy it. Then we're going to circle back around, graduates, and we're going to pull some lessons out of it that I know you can use in your adventure forward. So let me set the table. In every great story, there are good guys, people that you root for. In our story, the good guys are Iolani. Iolani is a school I went to. It reminds me a lot of Valley Christian. It's a kindergarten through 12th grade school. In every great story, there are bad guys, someone to root against. In our story, the bad guys are St. Louis High School, one of Iolani's rivals. Now, what I'm going to do is I am about to rerun this race for you right here on stage. Now, if I do that, I feel like it's fair for me to ask you to be an active audience. Is that fair? What I mean by that is every time you hear Iolani, I need you to be Iolani. I need you to cheer and make some noise. And every time you hear St. Louis, I need you to boo. I'm serious. Some of you are thinking, wait a minute, is that even allowed to boo a high school in a church? Listen, Central Christian has been our family's home church for the last 15 years. I already got it cleared through them. Tonight only, you can boo St. Louis High School in here, so we're good. So picture this. I'm in the 8th grade running track. My coaches are trying to figure out where to put me, mostly sprints, the 200, the 400. So I show up to the event today, and the coaches say, Mike, we're going to have you run the mile, okay? So now I'm on the infield with the other boys about to run the mile, waiting to get on the track. I'm running up. I'm in the 8th grade, but I'm running freshman track. I notice all these other boys know each other because they're always running the mile, so they're all talking and joking around. All the attention is focused on this one boy, Alan. One kid would say, Alan, don't beat us too badly today, ha, ha, ha. Another kid, Alan, don't lap me today, ha, ha, ha. I'm standing on the outside looking in thinking, are you kidding? We're not even on the track yet, and these guys have given up. That's just crazy talk, right? And are they seeing what I'm seeing? I mean, look at Alan. He's a scrawny kid, unathletic looking, not an ounce of muscle on him. Do you know someone like that? Graduates, do not point at any classmate, okay, please. And faculty and staff, please stop, guys. Stop all looking at Troy Thielen. That's just not nice, all right? Just now that we have a visual of what Alan looked like, we get onto the track, they're lining us up, and I'm thinking, okay, he's got to be at least pretty good or they wouldn't be making these jokes. So my strategy was simple. I'm going to follow him around 4 times, come down the home stretch. I'm a sprinter. I think I'm faster than him. I'll outkick him to win the race. That was my strategy. So they line us up right here at the line. Hold on. Okay. Boom, gun goes off. Alan takes off. I take off behind him. We hit that turn fast. We hit pole position. Alan cuts in. I cut in behind him. Guys, I got to tell you, I was feeling pretty good. Usually I'm at a full sprint. Now we're at a quick jog. So I'm liking this. We come around this turn. We're running at Punahou High School track. Punahou's track is in a bowl. So on this side of the hill, that's where my school sat, Iolani. Thank you. That makes me feel good. It made me feel really good back then when they were cheering for me. I run, I smile, I actually wave. I'm thinking I might get a date out of this, right? 8th grade boy. And so we round that corner, coming down this near straightaway, stretching my legs. I'm feeling good. I'm thinking, this mile thing, this is the best race ever. Why haven't I been running this sooner? Cross the line, going into the second lap. Right before we're about to turn, on this side of the hill, that's where St. Louis sat. Thank you, they deserve it. And their two coaches standing on the outside of the track, yelling for Alan, their runner. All right, Alan, you're the best. Alan, do your thing. I'm thinking they have no idea what's about to happen. Neither did I, but it felt good thinking that. So I'm right behind him. We turn the corner. We start entering that far straightaway. Right there, I noticed there's a trend happening here. Super irritating. Alan kept, how do I describe this? Alan kept running faster. He kept picking up the pace. I wanted to yell out, dude, just chill already. But he kept going faster. I kept going faster. I'm following him. We're going down this far straightaway, and we're starting to make this turn. And right before we hit that turn, of all things, a math equation pops into my head. And when something like this, I'm thinking, I'm not dead tired yet. I've got 30% of my energy left, so I can see the bottom. And I've got 60% of this race still left. So 60% more with 30% energy. I started doing the math, this long division, and I kept thinking, do I divide the 30 into 60 or the other way around? Either way, it's not looking good for me. Before I could get too mentally fatigued, here comes Iolani. All the numbers fly out of my head. I'm feeling, I don't want to break my stride and wave, so I just smile, give them the what's up, let them know I see them. Round the corner, coming down that straightaway, I'm running hard, he's running hard, and now for the first time, Alan's little body gets smaller as he starts to pull away. First 2 strides, then 3 strides, we cross the line. I'm going into that third lap. I'm thinking there's 2 more laps. I don't know if I got that in me. Before I could get 2 down, there's St. Louis. His coaches are yelling, you got this, Alan. You got it. Put him away, Alan. Do your thing. He's tired. I couldn't help but feel at the moment, for them, it was less about cheering for Alan and more about cheering against me. I think I was getting emotionally sensitive at the time, but hearing that gave me energy. So I push up right behind Alan again. We hit that far straightaway. We start going down. He's going faster. I'm going faster. Parents, has this ever happened to you? You're just walking along, no reason, you don't trip, no hole in the ground, and your knee just buckles? Has that ever happened? That happened to me several times on this far straightaway. So I got a hitch in my giddy up, and I'm thinking, how do you fix something like that? Before I get too worried, I'm rounding the corner. There's Iolani. They're yelling like you are. They're screaming. I think they're jumping up and down. At this point, my senses, I can't see clearly. My eyes are a little blurry. I'm not feeling well. You ever have that where you're so hungry, all of a sudden you're just not hungry anymore? It just went away. For me at this point, I was so tired, all of a sudden I noticed I was ridiculously tired. It never got better. It kept getting worse. We round the corner, coming down the near straightaway. Everything's blurring. Everything is fading except my hearing, of all things. My hearing goes on to like satellite mode, and I hear the big booming voice from above. Wasn't God, but the voice was clearly talking to me as I'm running, and the voice says, Houston, we have a problem. I yelled back, I know, stop saying that. And I was thinking, this mile thing, this is the worst race ever. Why am I doing this, Is it hot in here, or am I running too fast? Too much wind resistance here, it's not working. We crossed that line, last lap, gun lap, bell lap. I don't know if I can run another lap. I mean, there's three too many. We're going around the corner. There's St. Louis. 2 grown men yelling at the top of their lungs, pointing at an 8th grader, yelling, "He's got nothing, he's got nothing." That made me so mad. They don't know me. They don't know my heart. They don't know my drive. They don't know how bad I want this. And most of all, there's no way they could have known. They were absolutely right. I had nothing. But who are they to say that? What that did, that gave me what I didn't have. It gave me more energy. So I push up against Alan. We're right behind him. That back far straight away. He's going, I'm following him. My satellite hearing is still in tune. And all of a sudden, I hear clearly a wounded wild boar chasing me. In Hawaii, there's wild boar. In the mountains, in the valleys, guys go hunting for them. But this is a highly populated area, very dense. So I'm thinking, what are the odds, not just a wild boar, a wounded wild boar chasing me on the last lap of the freshman mile on Punahou track? Not very high. But I could clearly hear it sound like this. Then, yeah, I figured it out. That was me. I was struggling to breathe. And I started thinking, man, my windpipe was burning. I couldn't figure out, is it burning because it's hot or burning because it's cold? I just knew I couldn't breathe. And I'm thinking, I'm an 8th grader. Is this doing permanent damage to my body? Is this what the beginning of death feels like? Because I think so. But before I could have more morbid thoughts, here comes Iolani. Pandemonium, they're on their feet. The entire stadium's on its feet watching this dogfight. I'm just in a blur at this point. Now I'd lost control of my senses. Now I lose control of my mind. I get 2 thoughts, 2 questions come into my head. Embarrassed to say this, the first question that occurred to me was, Mike, how important is winning really? Followed by, why can't we just all call each other winners no matter what place we finish? So parents, I apologize. I think I invented participation awards right there on that spot. But thank goodness before I could do anything, my instincts kicked in. I went from behind Alan. I pull up beside him. I pass him. He passes me. Boom, boom. And then lost control of my senses, lost control of my mind. Now I lose control of my body. My legs at that point and my butt were so heavy, I could not lift my feet off the ground. It's like running in a dream. I just couldn't do it. It's like I'm done. My mind is shutting down. I feel like my body's shutting down. But I see the finish line is getting closer. So I'm actually thinking, how am I moving? Because I know I can't lift my legs. So I got to look down to see what's happening. My hips, on their own, independent of me, had figured it out. They couldn't lift my knees. So what my hips were doing were throwing my legs around each other. So this is what I look like coming down the home stretch. And by the way, that's in real time. That was the speed I was working with. Coming down that home stretch, boom, 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 we fly through that finish line. So let's back up. Graduates, what can we learn from this? You remember when I was standing amongst the other boys and they're all talking to each other? I felt like an outsider. In a couple of months, you're going to be on a new campus, maybe in a new state, maybe on a job site, and you're going to feel like an outsider. Being an outsider is a self-imposed term. Nobody can make you an outsider without your permission. Don't wait for anyone. You be the light, go forward. You can all talk. You're great at conversation. I know your teachers are always telling you to be quiet. So we know you can talk. The challenge is, how do you start a conversation with someone you don't know? It's very simple, guys. Introduce yourself. Say one thing about you. If it's appropriate, shake. If not, you can wave. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm from Arizona. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm a freshman. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm a business major. Oh, hi, I'm Tony. I'm from California. Hi, I'm Mary. I'm a math major. You're in a conversation. Do not hold on to the outsider mentality. Second lesson, I underestimated Alan. Don't do that, guys. Give people the benefit of the doubt, and sometimes they're going to surprise you in the most wonderful of ways. Earlier for this point, Troy Thielen had to take a bullet, and I appreciate that. In my opinion, as chairman of the board, working with a lot of people, I think Troy Thielen might be one of the most talented individuals we have working for this great school of ours. So how about a hand for Troy? Every time I was running, I wanted to quit. I was sore. I didn't think I could do it. Here comes Iolani. Graduates, you need fans. Your biggest fans have been and always will be your family who are sitting around you right now. Real quick, on your feet, turn around, show some love to your biggest fans. Let's go, graduates. Okay, thank you. Graduates, also know that the Valley Christian community, we're your fans too. Stay plugged into the Alumni Association. Come back, visit. You will always be welcomed with open arms. So important to have fans because when I came running down, every time I was about to hit that corner, there was St. Louis. Good news, bad news, graduates. The bad news is you're always going to have haters. There's always going to be someone who makes it their life's mission to make you miserable. Why? Maybe it's the way you look. Maybe it's the way you talk. Maybe it's the color of your skin. Maybe it's because you're tall, you're short. Maybe it's because you're a Christian. I don't know, but the moment you get rid of that person, someone else is going to come along. It's just a condition of the fallen and broken world that we live in. That's the bad news. The good news, graduates, you don't ever have to let haters dictate your life nor your direction. You keep your direction fixed and never let them affect the speed at which you're running. Like the Bible says, use the Matthew 18 principle of conflict resolution, but sometimes that's just not going to work. They don't want to resolve things. They just have evil in their heart. When that time comes, dust your sandals, move on. Life is too short because you're going to experience as you run your race, you're going to get a hitch in your giddy up. You're going to feel like a wounded wild animal. You're going to have bigger problems than haters. And then coming down that final home stretch, when I lost my mind, lost control of my body, lost control of my senses, you're going to be in deep water. We call that in Hawaii, when you're in over your head, we call that being in deep water. That will happen to you. In the next couple of months, you're going to get challenged. Maybe a better word, you're going to get attacked. And so it's no surprise, I'm going to tell you where it's coming from in 3 areas. You're going to get attacked mentally, you're going to get attacked physically, and you're going to get attacked spiritually. Mentally, I hope our faculty and staff has prepared you well. But it might be a struggle in the beginning. If it's not a struggle in the beginning, it will be a struggle at some point. And then you're going to find yourself in deep water. Physically, you're going to have to make 1,000 little choices that you never had to make before. You're going to have to make decisions based on economics. You're going to have to make physical decisions. You're going to have to make moral decisions. You're going to have to make purity decisions. Now, I know you've been dealing with some of that already. But trust me when I say the magnitude and severity of those decisions will escalate in quantum fold, and especially the consequences. And finally, you're going to get attacked spiritually. Up till now, you had Bible class 4 times a week. You had chapel once a week. For most of you, going to church wasn't a big issue. Your parents got in the car, said, let's go, off you went. In a couple of months, a lot of you are not going to have that person knocking on your bedroom door and say, get up, it's time to go. You can kind of slide by. You can get away with things. You can break some rules. Once upon a time, I was a teenager too. So I know sometimes breaking rules, getting away with things, felt almost cool, felt good. Graduates, you're 18 years old or soon to be. You're legal adults. You are not getting away with anything anymore. The decisions you make, what you do or don't do, it's now who you are. Choose well. And when you get into deep water, not if, always remember your best friend, your best ally, the best life raft and life preserver you can grab onto is your relationship with Jesus. Call out to him, hold on to him. He will never put you in a race that you can't finish. And I just realized my parents are in the room. They flew out from Hawaii to see their granddaughter graduate. So let me just clarify something real quick. Dad, Mom, when I said about teenagers breaking rules, it wasn't me. I saw Daniel and Kathy do it all the time, though. That's where I learned that lesson. To be fair, mostly Kathy. So, nip and tuck, boom, flying through the finish line. I said in the beginning, this wasn't a perfect metaphor. I feel compelled to let you know I lost that race. I remember my time. I ran a 4-minute, 54-second mile. Not too bad, especially for an 8th grader. But he beat me by 1/10 of a second. Graduates, the lesson there, sometimes your best will not be good enough. and that's okay. There's another race. There's another event. There's another sport. There's another challenge. Sometimes those roadblocks is just direction to go somewhere else. No one defeat nor one victory is ever going to define you. The quest is about running another race. So always be moving forward. And finally, after the race, I got a lot of juice from this. You know, a lot of people came up to me, friends, parents, coaches, other team. I started getting passionate. I started feeling like, man, this mile thing, I kind of like it. The next week at practice, my coaches pulled me aside and said, Mike, we're not going to have you run the mile anymore. I was like, did you see what just happened? And they said, you know, we feel like your speed and with your stride, you're going to be better served to run the 400, one lap around. And I thought, okay, you know, I was a little disappointed, but okay. So the next year, as a freshman, focusing on the 400, I ran varsity track and finished the season 9th in the state as a freshman. So my coaches were right. Graduates, a lesson there. Focus on your strengths, not your passions. It's such a cliche right now for people to tell you, graduates, what do you love? What's your passion? Follow your dream. I'm for all of that. Please hear me. Those are good things. All I'm saying is those should not be your first question, because you can be truly passionate about something you're just not good at. You're just not gifted in it. That's called a hobby. If you start with the question, what am I good at? Lay that out. Second question then, what am I passionate about? Filter it out. Now anything you're left with could be a great major, could be a great career. And now you can one day, you can monetize that and support a family. So start with the question, what am I good at? Not what am I passionate about? Speaking of good and strength, Valley Christian Community, I want to thank you for everything you've done. You know this is a hyper growth phase for our school, largely because of you. Please continue to pray for the school. We need it. Anything you can do above and beyond that will be absolutely appreciated. I want to also thank you personally. I appreciate the introduction Mr. Kuiper just gave me. But like you heard, our son, our daughter-in-law are graduates, and tonight our daughter graduates. So thank you for affecting our household in such a positive way. Wrapping up here, I want to just say very quickly to my Princess Paige, my daughter right there. I'm not going to have you stand up, sweetie, but I just want to say in front of everyone, Paige, Mom and I are so proud of you. And from the moment you were born till right here, right now, you have brought me joy every single day of my life. Thank you, sweetie. And finally, to our graduates, tonight's your night. The future is yours. Own it, grab it, run toward it. Be nimble in your thinking, but never change your beliefs nor your principles. Have fun, but don't do anything that takes away your self-respect. Keep Jesus as your true north, and always remember, graduates, you are sons and daughters of a king. Graduates of Valley Christian High School 2019, to your marks, get set, go. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.